In this video, we're going to take a look at naming aldehydes and ketones. And the rules for naming aldehydes and ketones are pretty straightforward. So we're going to start out with aldehydes. Now, an aldehyde, let's start out with octane. Let's start out with octane. Octane is the 8-carbon molecule found in gasoline, and if we change it from being a saturated hydrocarbon, an alkane, and we change it to an aldehyde, we drop the E and we add on an Al. So octanal is an 8-carbon molecule that ends in an aldehyde structure. So it would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 hydrogen, and like this. And let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this becomes octanal. And this molecule is found in fragrances such as Chanel number 5. And just kind of a funny story for you about this. Chanel number 5, the reason it's called number 5 is because the Tsar of Russia wanted to give a gift to his wife, the Tsarina. So he asked Chanel to come from France over to Russia and show him some different perfumes. And he looked through the different perfumes, and then the 5th formulation of the different perfumes that Chanel showed the Tsar, the Tsar liked. And so that became Chanel number 5, which was good enough for the Empress of Russia, and if you have enough money, it might be good enough for you too. Now, another one here, let's try 2-ethyl-4-methylpentanal. 2-ethyl-4-methylpentanal. So pentanal means there's 5 carbons in it. So I'm going to go, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons like this. Okay, and I'm going to add my aldehyde ending on here, like this, like this. Okay, now I'm going to number this here. Now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and 2-ethyl-4-methyl. So let's see, 2-ethyl, here's 2. So I'm going to put 2 carbons on here. Here's 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2. And then 4-methyl. Just going to add 1 carbon right there, like that there. Okay, 2-ethyl-4-methylpentanal. Another aldehyde here. Let's see. Another aldehyde is cis-3-hexanal. So cis-3-hexan. Al. Okay, now looking at this name, the name of the molecule, we have Al, so it's an aldehyde, hexan, so that means there's 6 carbons, and then the En, hexen, means that there's a double bond. And on that double bond, it's off of the 3rd carbon, and it's a cis. That means that the carbons are on the same side as the double bond. So I'm going to draw this one out here. I'm going to go like this and put my aldehyde here. Here's my aldehyde and my carbons. Now my carbons, this is going to be 1, 2. Okay, 2 carbons here so far. And I need to have a total of 6. So I'm going to go like this here. All right, there's 3. And then remember, after the 3rd carbon is our double bond. So double bond like this, and it's cis, so it means the carbons come back up the same side like this. So here's, see, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'll go ahead and write these in here. 3, 4, 5, 6. cis-3-hexan-al. Now this molecule is the molecule that you smell when you smell freshly cut grass. This is what they call a volatile organic compound that when you cut the grass, it gets up into the air and you smell it, and that's the familiar smell for cut grass. Naming ketones is similar to aldehydes in that we drop the E and we add a new suffix. And for ketones, we add the ONE suffix. The ONE suffix tells us that it's a ketone. So I'm going to write out the name of a molecule here, and we'll see if we can't interpret the name into an actual structure. We have 2,5-dimethyl 2-hex and ONE. Hexanone. Now that ONE tells us that it is a ketone, and the 2 here tells us where on this molecule we have the ketone, and it has 6 carbons. Oh my gosh, I got to learn how to spell. H-E-X, that should be hexanone. H-E-X, hex, and hexanone. Hexanone. Well, if you can't spell, you can always go into chemistry. So we have 6 carbons here. It is a ketone, 6 carbons, and off of the second carbon, we have the ketone, and then we have a couple of methyl groups attached onto it. All right, so I'm going to start out by drawing my 6 carbon atoms here. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this, and we're going to label it here. We'll go, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon atoms. And coming off of the second carbon atom is going to be my ketone, and the ketone is the carbonyl here, like that, okay? And then coming off of 4, 5, oh, let's see, this needs to be 4, I wrote it wrong, 4, 5 here, 4, 5, 4, and 5 are my 2 methyl groups. 4,5-dimethyl 2-hexanone. Now this molecule here is what's found in musk. Now there's an animal that produces musk. Trying to think of what it is. Oh, I think it's the beaver. It has a gland that produces this thing. I think it's the beaver. I'm not positive. Anyway, it produces this musk smell, and it's a smell that has been added to perfumes to make them persist, to make them last longer. It's musk. Now, musk was a fragrance that was really popular in the 70s. And if you know anything about the 70s, or if you lived through the 70s like I have, it's a decade you probably like to forget. I mean, disco, what the heck were they thinking? All right, so anyway, this molecule here is what's added to fragrance because it allows the fragrance to persist or to last longer. All right, let's try one more here. We're going to try one more. This one is 2-phenyl 3-heptanone. 2-phenyl 3-heptanone. Okay, all right. Yep, okay. So give this one a try. Like pause the video, see if you can't draw this one out.
One eternity later.
All right, so now that you've given this one a try, let's see what we can figure out on here. Hepta means 7, so there's 7 carbons. One, so it's a ketone coming off of the third of the 7 carbons. So I'm going to start out with my 7 carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. and then I'll label it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like this. And then off of my third carbon is my ketone. Third carbon is my ketone, and off of my second carbon is a phenyl. So a phenyl is this benzene ring here, like this. A benzene ring there. Okay, there we go. 2-phenyl 3-heptanone. There, now you have become familiar with naming aldehydes and ketones.